So this is what I like to do. What up? It's Miss Uncut. Join me on YouTube at Miss Uncut, SMOOV. Smooth. Or MMC. Now listen. Cause y'all know I gotta show my face. Like, on top of that, like, listen. When I, you know, people will think like, she's in love with somebody. Hell no, hell yeah, with myself. Hell, my motherfucking self. You can't just sit up there and say, you can't just say to yourself like, yeah, when I get in a relationship, I'ma just play R&B music. Play that shit now. How I see it, me, I'm taking advantage of the music like the music industry took advantage. That's one. Why? Because that's the love for myself. That's two. Number three is, why not sing for myself? Why not sing to myself? It's a part of, like, that's a part of self. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a part of, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's healing. That's just something that you're supposed to do. How do you feel like anytime that you need to play R&B or you feel any type of love, why don't you sing it to yourself instead of to the person? That's how I figure that you lose yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you lose yourself in a relationship. Only time that you want to play R&B music or anything that's, you know what I'm saying, relationship, is around that time, is whatever, you know what I'm saying, like your soul music or whatever you want to call it, it don't matter. First thing that you do, you gotta sing to yourself first. You gotta show the side that you didn't show love to before. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I be waiting on you, but you be thinking like, nah, I got me a mate. I got a mate, so, you know, like, they'll take care of that part. Sometimes it's not their job to actually take care of that part. They can't do everything. That part of you that's missing, that part of you that's loving you and you be neglecting this shit like that, yeah. But like, I remember living down in Brooklyn. I told you I used to live down in Brooklyn, and I rented a room. It was like I had two other roommates, and they all had their own separate rooms and shit, right? So that was that was a part of my healing process. I would play like love songs for myself. I would definitely play love songs. So the guy, he was so obsessed with me, you know, like he was pretty much like a groupie and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he was a bad groupie. He knows where he tried to keep people from me, or he tried to keep me from dating other people. Just like Black Tiger, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Black Tiger, he's trying to isolate me and shit like that. And keep me from my kid and all, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because he worked for the government, and we know as the government like to take people's kids from, you know what I'm saying? You know, they like to take people's kids from their family and shit, their mother and their father. And because of this, and because of that, you know what I'm saying, like with the whole military and shit like that, when it comes down to that, who's actually teaching them that shit. So me, I figure, why not take advantage, you know what I'm saying, like, off of the system, and not only that, the industry that like, you know what I'm saying, where they got their shit from. Most of their songs and everything from me. So, sing it to myself. Nobody involved. I'm not dating anybody. I haven't really been on a date 2 or 3 months or something like that, I would say. But I remember the date like we was just hanging out and shit. So for me, it's like, I know it's different for me. I don't know how different for y'all. I don't know how it is for y'all. But I'd rather go that route. Because we all know music is a hustle, but you yourself, so you love yourself first. Love could be a hustle if you fuck with the wrong. Oh, he's wowing. Love could be a definite hustle if you fuck with the wrong person. And if you don't see what you fucking with, it could definitely be a hustle. So for me, what I do, I sing to myself. That's how I heal. I heal my other side of myself. That's how people like, oh my God, she's dating somebody. She's in love. Nah. I'm in love with myself, but somebody else no. Nah. I haven't met anybody that's worthy enough and shit like that. Haven't. And then on top of that, if you know how some of the saying, like when people do, you know what I'm saying, like spells and things like that nature, and you know what I'm saying, like, and that could come from any community, that could come to anybody, any religion. But because the cult, it's gonna be hard for me, you know what I'm saying, like if they Christian, I can't date Christian people. That's just what it is. Regardless of the fact if, you know what I'm saying, like what you think that I need to be dating, or you may not have been involved in what the fuck went on. You know what I'm saying? Like, because everybody know what happened to me. And the partition, you know what I'm saying? Like the partition is that part. I wouldn't be able. I wouldn't be able to date another Christian in my life, you know what I'm saying, or anything that's connected, especially when it comes down to like the music industry and shit like that. I wouldn't be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I already know that there's a downfall within it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to actually some type of longevity. It's hard to actually it's hard to have some type of longevity, especially when you have like an industry like that on your back. It's difficult because you got to remember, I'm gonna use the presidents, right? I'm gonna use anybody that's in corporate. What they're supposed to do is, you know what I'm saying, like when they get married, they supposed to have, like, you know what I'm saying, a marriage. Because what do they always say? When you have a successful marriage, you know what I'm saying, like people, like the people are going to look at you, they're going to deem it, you know, like they're going to deem you, you know what I'm saying, like trustworthy, loyal, things like that nature, right? So, but in the music industry, that's not how that shit goes. That's not, you know what I'm saying, like that's not the rule. The music industry is completely different. Like in order for them to get an actual song off of you, you have to feel some type of emotion. And it can't always be about yeah, nah, he's doing me good and this, that, and the third or whatever. they'll throw like a monkey wrench or some shit in there. If you don't know that, if you do know, that's cool. But some people just don't know that shit. So they don't really expect your relationship to really last long in the first place. It's supposed to be like a circus. I mean, if you actually see what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Like with rap and shit like that, rap is like the #1 culprit for that shit. If you listen, that's an R&B. Well, there you are. You know, like most of the R&B songs are poly. Like most of the songs are poly. It is what it is. And I'm talking about from the 90s all the way up to the 2000s. They're telling you like, yo, I know you're not my girl. I love your girl. Word, how you telling another man that you love his girl? That's wild. I never seen that before. Like before. That was wild for me. I was like, okay, the type of time he on. So I try to figure out, you know, like when it's gonna go down, because I don't think any man that want to actually hear somebody else love their girl, right? And I think most people, like, you know, like when songs come out, most of them, they pretty much say, well, you know, I like the beat. They like, you know, they like the beat. They like the beat. That's all they really can say. That's all they really do. They like the beat. But they don't really listen to the lyrics. Not noticing the whole entire time, like, the guy is saying, yo, I really just want to fuck you. And you know what I'm saying? Like, we could be fuck buddies. Like, all of the R&B songs are on fuck buddy time. Like, it's a rarity to actually find one that's like, yeah, I want you to be my wife and only my wife. And you can only be my wife. Like, you know, listen to the wordage. I think that's what it is. Like, you definitely got to listen to the words. Because some people don't like that beat. Yo, that beat is fire, and that's it. Like, they listen to the drum, but you listen to what they saying. Like, yeah, no, I got my main chick, or they got their side chick. Before all of this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, before trap actually came in hard, and that's okay. That's cool. As long as you know what you're listening to, and you don't fall in love, and you're like, oh, okay. Like this whole strings attached thing. Like, oh, there's no strings attached. You know what you listen to. I think everybody gets their feelings, like, and it's crazy how everybody get their feelings behind things that, you know, that they already know. What a person is willing to do, what a person's not willing to do. It's like, yeah, no, feelings. This is the part that I wanted to get into, because I talked about everything that everybody already knows, right? But me breaking it down even more so, because there might be people on my live that don't know anything about having friends with benefits, actually just having somebody to chill with. Some people never experience that. I've actually met guys experience that day, a day in their life. Like, when they get around a girl and shit, just what it is. They get around a girl, either they get some or they don't. It is what it is. Either they get some or they don't. So that's why I say, like, that's why I'm mentioning this. Like, there might be people on this live. Like, you got to remember, it might be teenagers and shit in my live and shit that they don't know about. And they watch my shit and they like, word, so how you get point A to point B? Point A is what? Well, you got to meet the person. Like, hey, like, you know what I'm saying? On the in between of everything else, knowing gotta figure out like, yo, do I really like this person? Like, yo, she hot. I'm saying like he's so fire. But then what else to discover what that person like? You gotta push past, like first you gotta push past that part where you understand like, damn, I'm heavily attracted. Like this shit is heavy as fuck. I'm heavily fucking attracted to this person. Like, but can you push past that part? Because when it's heavy like that, that shit is googly eyes. It's nothing but googly out this motherfucker for real. Nothing but googly eyes. So now you gotta figure that shit out. Like, damn, can I push past this part? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have some type of googly eyes in it. You gotta maintain your composure too. You like, all right, bet. What do we like other than being sexually aroused and sexually attracted to each other? Shit out. Cause you never know. You like, yo, if you just starting out in life, you watching my live, you might roll right past your fucking soulmate. You might roll past the person you really meant to be with. And when I say that, it could be either way. It don't even matter. It matter. Like, that person might agree to actually having a polyamorous relationship. Because there are still monogamous people out there, as such as myself. I already know I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. For what? Hell nah. I'm not opening up for shit. Like, I don't see that happening. I am fairly, when I say fairly traumatized, I'm traumatized to the core. That don't mean that I can't heal myself. That don't mean that I can't get healed. That don't mean, like, healing takes time. But things like that, for what they actually did, what these people actually did to me, and it was like treated like I was in some type of high school game or some shit. And I don't want to say no high school game because you don't even want to do that to somebody that's in high school. I could imagine around that time, this shit that was going, like how they actually treat, you know what I'm saying, like the females that was in high school, like the example of catching a fucking predator. Actually showing like, yo, kids, these are the things that you don't do. You know what I'm saying? Like, woman, and she's grown, you don't come at her like that. But the whole situation, the whole story behind it, it's like the whole field to everything. It was like teaching kids how to be rapists. It was like teaching kids how to be rapists. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yeah, like hunt this person. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's show, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yeah, man. Like, you could really like show, you could really adult could really show a kid what they really, you know what I'm saying? Like, and a kid will learn, be like, oh, that's what I do? All I gotta do is just stalk. All I gotta do is just make sure I stalk this, down the third person. You're gonna have a great country. Everybody say fuck them kids, but I feel like this, fuck them adults. Most of the time. All of those adults that shit, and the kids is like, yo, what about us? So the kids was like, yo, fuck that. And they turned their head and they was just like, it is what the fuck it is. And I agree with them at that. It's like, I was feeling the same way. I was like, yo, if the adults die, it is what it is. Out of all of this shit that was going on, and the fucking kids was screaming out, like, you shouldn't have to sit up there and hear a boy, you know what I'm saying, like, yell to somebody like, yo, they female predators on boys, on guys, just as the same as male predators on guys too at the same time. Person never did shit. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that person, that guy, knowing that little teenager never did anything, male teenager, never did anything to hurt anybody. So when I, you know what I'm saying, like when I hear people and certain adults, you know what I'm saying, like they lose their life and shit, I'll be like, oh, well, it gotta be wishes granted and shit like that, because the universe, you know what I'm saying, like the universe must be answering some shit, because thing that just happened and everybody's just like, nah, that shit is okay. Nah, don't worry about, like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? As it is, bullying was bad. You know what I'm saying? But taking bullying to the fucking extreme, for what are you doing that for? We didn't get shit out of this. Out of everything that just happened. Out of everything that just happened. So technically, like, cause I always stick to this, like I always try to stick to this Wu-Tang saying, right? And like, I think it was RZA that actually said it. And he was like, yo, I'm gonna show you how they, you know what I'm saying? Like they got secret files on how they rape the fucking continents, right? So you pretty much just put us like, you know what I'm saying? Like most of these adults out here, just because they had gambling and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And like they had like, you know what I'm saying? Uncontrollable fucking urges sexually, because they didn't, you know what I'm saying, like they couldn't control their fucking urges too at the same time. What happened? Well, the kids were just like, well, since you showing us that, well, now we're gonna have a whole pride, now we're gonna have a whole rape flag, a pride flag is a rape flag and shit like that. We just watching the adults gamble like they never gambled before. Like, yo, I would have been like, yo, y'all never been to Vegas before? I know I never been to Vegas. Go to Vegas. Y'all never been to Empire City? You never been to any of those? Like, these adults was acting like all of these places were new. They act like gambling just got here. And it was just like, yeah, no, like, we're gonna force everybody. Fuck you, force everybody to sit up there and fucking gamble. When they're not even that type of person, but you're gonna gamble anyway. It's Friday right now. I promise you, somebody woke up this morning and was like, yo, they got an itch to gamble. Like, what do we do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who we betting on? Who we gonna sit up there and who we betting on? Who we gonna harass today while watching us harass somebody and be a fucking predator? But it's fuck those kids though, right? It's that part for me. Like, make it make sense. The kids' fault, right? Like they was born sexual fucking predator offenders and shit like that. The adults had nothing to do with that shit, right? It just came on naturally. But it's fuck those kids though, right? While they sitting up there and they telling y'all and they showing y'all, they can't really say as much what they really see because they're in it all, and they're looking at the adults like, yo, what the fuck are y'all doing? And shit like that. Now in schools, they sit up there and they raping, they do all types of crazy wild shit. I promise I'm taking the fall for none of that shit, especially what the fuck happened to me, and for whatever kids, whoever got raped. I can't believe that all of this shit is happening. But you was you like these people. And whoever's in my comments or whatever, or I should say watching me right now, she was some shit that pushed all of this shit. Now we got a fucking pride fucking flag. That's crazy. Now we got a whole pride of fucking rape flag just sitting there chilling in our face. A little girl, a disabled girl, got raped by three teenagers. The little girl was like 15. So you mean to tell me that nobody better be mad at me? Nobody. Is that part? Because Houseway, while they was sitting up there yelling at y'all the whole entire time, trying to tell y'all what the fuck they don't understand, and those just sitting around, no, this is what we doing. Okay. Now you see what happened? That shit is wild. That shit is wild as fuck. And I pretty much even let's see Hollywood. Let's see Hollywood do some shit and do a story like that. They will not be interested. Well, how do we discover, how do we get to the rape flag? They won't do that story. They're not doing that shit. There's so many kids can tell you so many things. It's so wild. Like, that's crazy though. Right? We don't want like, oh no, you're gay. Oh wait, hold on, pause. But there's a reason why your kid is gay. If you was there for them, you wasn't sitting up there, you wasn't pushing bullshit in the first fucking place and saying, oh yeah, no, like we're gonna keep bullying. You're a fucking adult. I don't feel like adult. It's too late. You are who you are right now with the age that you are at. That's just what it is. Like, that shit is crazy as fuck. Like, like, that shit is wow. I can't believe people believe they own bullshit. The fuck you coming? Why the fuck the kids is gay and they sit up there and they fucking get raped in school, and then like, you know what I'm saying, like of course they're gonna turn it, they're gonna know, they're gonna like who they like. It's not fucking illegal, like really pushing being illegal. How the fuck do you, my question is, right, how the fuck for somebody that they can't like who they like, knowing that they went through what the fuck they went through? If they got child molested, if they got, you know what I'm saying, if they got raped, if they got bullied into rape. You tell somebody that. This is the other part of LGBTQ. This is the other part. Makes sense. How do you tell somebody that? Ain't nobody can answer that question. No one. That shit is wild. I can't see, like, cause I remember looking at that shit from a far kid, and I always ask like, yo, what happens when a kid gets, you know what I'm saying, like if they raped when they was little, and then they grow to like the gender that they got raped by, you know what I'm saying, like the opposite. What the fuck? Or I should say the same sex, or what the fuck? Like, make it make sense. The guy likes the guy, and he got raped by a fucking guy. What is he to do? Alone. If he's not going out and he's not raping anybody, leave him the fuck alone. Know exactly what the fuck happened to that man, to that little boy at that time, to that motherfucking teenager at that time. You know what happened. What do you do with the ones that got raped? You just say, yo, we're gonna kill him now. This is a no, kill you. Kill you. Like, that shit is right there, that shit is wild. Cause that's a fucking hell nah. That's the part of the LGBTQ that I understand. That part, I force somebody to actually, it's like forces in into some shit that they wasn't even thinking about in the first place. That's one.
Any suspicious activities, or call 1-888-NYC-SAFE. As always, if you see something, say something.
And that's one. That's one. They didn't even have a fair opportunity to do shit. Like, damn. What? I don't even know what dick and pussy is. Like, if motherfuckers know the word rape, you know the word dick and pussy. Like, it should not bother you at this time, at this point in time that we got. I'm not understanding censorship. I feel like AI is definitely pushing all of that bullshit too at the same time. I'm not like that. That's how nobody should feel offended about nothing what the fuck I'm saying. If you see what the fuck is going on, everybody should be pissed the fuck off right about now. That shit is wild. So you push the kid and they grow up and they like the same gender they are. And you're gonna judge the kid just because of the fact no cap it to them, and you're gonna say no, you can't like them and it's not, but you know what happened to them. Houseway, so really setting them up for failure, because why? Because now it's like, nah, we gotta get them out the way. You used them, their body is used now. That shit is crazy. That shit is wild as fuck. I don't get I keep for some reason I just keep getting that same thought in my head when it comes down to that. It's like, what is that it actually happened to that never even asked for it in the first place? Because kids can't ask for shit like that. I don't know no one wanted to be violated in that fucking way. Like, make it make sense. Like, we grown. This conversation with me, you better come with some shit for real. You better not. It's that part. like for real, don't play with it, because that shit ain't it.
Exit through the rear door.
Yo, I don't even about the whole situation. I just yo, join me on YouTube, Miss Uncut.